Hello, this is Claus Jensen presenting Game 2 from the World Championship match in Bulgaria. After being defeated very badly in the opening game, I guess many of us were excited to see how Anand would react here in Game 2. And I think we can say that he reacted very professionally, playing an intelligent positional game, which led to equalization in the match when Topalov resigned at move 43. Let's watch the game, which was a Catalan game. d4 knight f6, c4 e6, knight f3 d5, g3, d takes c, bishop g2, a6, knight e5, c5, knight a3, c takes d, knight a takes c4, bishop c5, castles, castles, bishop d2, knight d5, rook c1, knight d7, knight d3, bishop a7, bishop a5, queen e7, queen b3, rook b8, and in this position Anand played the first surprise move to me. He played queen a3, offering the exchange of queens here, and Topalov accepted the queen exchange and took on a3, and now comes the second surprise move for me. I definitely would expect a natural recapture like knight takes a3, but Anand played b takes a3, voluntarily accepting doubled pawns in the a file. Very surprising to me. Knight 7 to f6, knight c to e5, rook e8. And what we can say about this position at this point is that Anand has succeeded in getting Topalov into a passive position, which is not exactly his cup of tea. He wants tactical battles, and this one is more and more turning into a positional battle. Rook c2, b6, bishop d2, bishop b7, rook f to c1, rook b d8, and here Anand plays a move I don't really understand the idea behind. He plays f4, bishop b8, a4. This was the move I expected on the previous move instead of f4. a5. Topalov can't really allow Anand to play a5, but playing a5 himself makes his b6 pawn weak. And perhaps this was one of the ideas behind taking the queen with the b pawn from Anand's point of view. Anand here plays knight c6, attacking the d4 pawn. So Topalov is forced to exchange this knight. Bishop takes c6, rook takes c6, and now, of course, the rook is attacking the weak b6 pawn, which is of course defended by the knight on d5, but still h5 followed, rook 1 to c4. Anand pinpoints another weakness in Topalov's position, this pawn here, which is not so easy to defend properly. So Anand is squeezing Topalov more and more together, and Topalov obviously feels uncomfortable and plays the rather desperate knight e3 in this position. And Anand plays bishop takes e3, d takes, and Anand here played, he could have taken on b6 here, I think that would be very good, but Anand plays bishop f3 first because he wants his king to have an escape route on g2 if in case he moves this knight away, and then could follow a check on d8, and he wouldn't like to be forced to play bishop f1 to block this check and make this bishop very passive. So bishop f3 is a very nice move. g6, and now Anand takes the pawn on b6, bishop a7, rook b3, and in this position I think that what Topalov should probably have done here was to try to keep Anand off the 7th rank, so he should have played Rook e7, I think. He played Rook d4 instead, and now comes Rook c7, entering this 7th rank. But it's not so much the 7th rank that's important here. The important thing is that it's forcing the bishop back to b8, and then Anand can play Rook c5, and then he is hitting another weak pawn in Topalov's position, the a5 pawn. Bishop d6, Rook takes a5, Rook c8, King g2. There we see this escape route. Rook c2, attacking the a2 pawn, and I'll calmly place it to a3. Rook a2, once again attacking the a3 pawn, knight b4, and bishop takes b4, a takes b4, giving back Anand connected passed pawns. Seems like a strange decision, but this is only temporary, because after knight d5, which is attacking b4 and b5, then the a4 pawn is falling, and rook takes, and bishop takes, and e takes. But now Topalov may have won back the a pawn, but we now have a rook endgame with 5 pawns on each side. And someone once said that rook endgames are always drawn, but this is of course not true in this position, because Anand has this strong pass pawn on in the b file, and Topalov's king is too far away. So this pawn will force Topalov's rook to a passive position on b8 to block the white pawn from queening. We can see here b6, rook a8, b7, rook b8. And now that the black rook is passively placed on b8, then Anand can nice and easy play king f3, starting to pick up the black center pawns, d4 and king e4. And Topalov cannot prevent Anand from taking the pawn on d4 and the pawn on e3. And the position is getting more and more hopeless, and that is why Topalov resigned here. I think it was a very nice comeback from Anand after losing the first game very quickly. He very cleverly managed to steer Topalov into a passive position, and this is one of the weaknesses in Topalov's game. He simply loses patience from time to time, and this is exactly what happened here when he played knight e3. I hope you enjoyed this game, and I hope to see you on my blog at klausjensen.com. Bye bye for now.